Hey lovers, and I'm Kaya here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh my god, I haven't said this in, I would say 2.5 years, if not 3. But welcome back guys to my channel. This is a video that it has taken me for a while to record. And by that I mean I was very skeptical as to why I should shoot this video. Also, it's something that has happened and there were so many things going on, so many rumors and speculations around this type of video that I want to be talking about today, about my health, about why I've been gone for a very long time. And I think it's just time for me to settle down and have this video and talk about it. It took me a good year, I don't want to lie, because I literally wanted to do this video immediately after hospital, but I was like, no man, like what's the motive behind this video? If I want to do it, let me do it correctly, and let me do it with facts, and let me do it at my own pace, at my own time. I don't want to feel rushed into doing this video. So this is the video now. I'm shooting it on, what is it? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Hopefully to post this video on Sunday. Actually, it's Pride Month. So I just want to spread some love and also straightening some things that have been said in the past. And yeah man, like this is a video that I just wanted to share to you guys what happened and where am I right now in life, and what are my goals, and what am I about to do, because now I'm more comfortable within myself and I'm ready to share my experience, and hopefully I can inspire someone out there that, you know what, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you do, make sure that you give it a thumbs up, and if you are not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. I know I want to say subscribe, but I promise there's gonna be so many videos coming after. The channel is gonna change a bit, but that is gonna be discussed on the next video. But for now, let's just focus on the matter at hand. Let's get right into it. So jumping onto the video, it was the 19th of August 2020. That is the day I will never forget in my life. So it was a Saturday. I was coming back from Ekailija because I used to stay that side, right? And being a traveler, and I remember that week I was just coming back from home. There was a ritual in Eastern Cape that I was supposed to go to, and I went to, and there was a funeral after that. So I think my body was just estranged with that trip. I got home on Saturday night, and I remember having this weird sensation, like a tingling on my left leg. And I remember saying to my cousin, guys, I feel weird. Like there's something inside my leg, and it's like crawling in, and I can't. You wanna scratch it, but you can't. And then they're like, no man, we're just gonna boil you some water, put your feet in that water, and put some salt, and it's probably gonna go away. It's probably because you're busy and you're traveling and all of those things, so you're tired. I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. Let me rather do it. I did that, and I feel like I was okay for a bit, and I went to bed. I remember that day, and I took some painkillers and I went to bed. And then I woke up on Sunday. The feeling was still there, but it was not as intense as it was last night, like on Saturday, the previous day. I remember saying to them, okay, I feel a bit better, but it's still there. I can feel it. And I went to church, and I came back home. I remember I had to come back home immediately because I had a shoot on that day, and that was an observatory. So I had to go shoot in observatory, and immediately after observatory I came back home, and I think it was at night, and I was so tired. I remember feeling like some crunchiness. It was now at this point it was intense. It was 2 times intenser than it was on Saturday. And I remember saying to them, guys, it's coming back. The feeling is coming. They're like, because you're traveling, you need to relax, you know? I was like, okay, cool. Let's just relax. Took some painkillers, did the same routine that I did on Saturday. I woke up on Monday. I was fine the whole day on Monday up until at night, where I could feel that now the feeling is not on the left leg only, it has gradually moved to the right leg. But now it has not been on the ankle, it has been on the knees as well. And I could feel on my knees that it's like I want to scratch it, man. But it's not something you can touch, if you can understand what I'm trying to say. And it was a bit weird, and I couldn't figure it out exactly what was going on. Then they were like, okay, cool. I feel like this is now becoming serious. You need to go to a doctor. We need to see what's going on. Prior to that, right, I remember there was like something growing on my neck that looked like a cyst. I thought it was a cyst. You know, like when you're getting sick and you start researching and you start googling. Never do that in your life. That is dangerous. Never Google your symptoms. I started googling what happens when you're growing like a tumor on your neck. Then you figure out that there's a cyst and stuff like that. And my doctor was like, no, it's probably gonna go away. It's probably a flu, or your tonsils are swollen up or something like that. But that I think that ended. It just faded on its own. Going back to the legs, I started feeling now the gradual, like, strong sensation of pain on my both legs. And I was a bit very scared at this point. I went to the doctor did examinations, they examined, they tested, they did all of this blood tests and stuff, and everything was fine. And then it was just like, I'm gonna inject you, see if everything is still fine. Got an injection on Monday, came back. Tuesday, I was okay. Wednesday, that's where things started being weird. I felt like on Wednesday, I could feel my legs feeling a bit wobbly. You know when you're drunk so much and you feel like you have balance, but you don't have balance. That was me on Wednesday. I was walking around the house. I would walk and feel like, no, man, I need to relax. I need to hold on to something. And that was so scary, but I didn't take into consideration that it might be something serious. And I remember telling my cousins about this feeling, and then they're like, no, man, you like to joke. And at that point, I used to joke about it. And I don't think I was taking it seriously. And then on Thursday, that's where things became more intense, where now it was hard for me to take more than 3 steps on my own. I had to walk using objects around the house. I would bath, and I remember bathing sitting on bed. I could not stand in the bathroom. I had to use I had to use utensils within the bedroom, because now my mobility was affected so much that going outside was not on my books anymore. Like, I had to do things on my own within one space. And then the nightmare happens. Woke up Friday morning. There was no sensation, no movement, no mobility, no nothing. I remember feeling my world closing down, and I remember not hearing everything. Like it was so quiet, but people were talking. But to me, everything was so slow, and it became slow, and then it just stopped. And I remember saying to my cousins, guys, pinch me, do something. They're like, can you feel this? I'm like, no, what are you doing? Like, do something that I can feel. And at that moment, I remember I had lost my sensation. I had lost feelings, and I had lost everything. So now at this point, we are like very frantic as a family. I remember calling my mom and crying. And my mom is a crier. One thing about my mom, like the crown of crying, she has it at home. We gave it to her. I remember crying so much and saying to her, I don't know what's going on. Like, we don't know what's going on. How can we figure this out? Because this person was okay, but this thing gradually became something intense and serious. But we didn't take it seriously because we thought he was joking. We thought it was gonna go away. And I remember saying to my mom, what can we do? She was like, guys, go to the doctor and hear what the doctor has to say. We went to the doctor, and oh no, we didn't go to the doctor. I remember on that day, on that Friday, I had an assignment and I also had work. So I was like, okay guys, because I'm not feeling pain, even though that my mind, my thoughts and my mind were not at where I was, but I could remember that I still had an exam and I had work. I was like, okay, let's finish work, and my exam, then we can go to a doctor because it's fine. I'm not feeling anything. There's no pain, but we can talk. Then my family was like, no. I was like, guys, listen, let me get through this paper, and then I'll be like, we can do whatever we have to do. I remember writing this paper and working, and then the following day, I remember waking up on Saturday with a scar on my back. And I learned that later that it's a bed sore. That's where you slip on one side, you don't turn, and your body just like it's like how can I put it? It's like squeezed into something and you can't feel it. So there was a scar at the back of like literally just like above my like on the bottom of my spine, and it was a growing wound. I remember it was a growing wound, and I figured that it was a bed sore, and immediately I was rushed to hospital. So I got into hospital to scare. I first went to a day hospital, and then they were like, okay, cool, no, you're beyond our case. We have to transfer you to a higher hospital institution. I went to Grootskee, and then I was admitted. And I remember immediately when I get to hospital, everything was like, firstly, it happened during lockdown, COVID-19, 2020. I think that time lockdown was not as intense as it was. There were times it was level 5 and level 3, level 5 and level 3, but there were no visiting allowed. No visitors allowed, no nothing. So I remember getting to the doctor asking me questions like what had happened, how did it start, and all of that. And my doctor was like, okay, we're first gonna do a lumbar puncture. So a lumbar puncture, that's where they put this long, huge needle. I'm gonna try my best, guys, to put the details below or here when I'm talking, so you can see what I'm like. You can see what I'm talking about, and also descriptions of the later stages. The lumbar puncture is like a long, huge needle. I don't know what fluid it has. They put it like at the back of your spine, just right at the bottom of your spine, the last bone there. They inject it to see what reaction is gonna happen within your spine. They did that, and lucky for me, apparently that's the most painful thing you can experience because it's huge and it's going through your spine within the bone. So for me at that point I felt nothing, so I was like, just go with it. Did the lumbar puncture, rested. The doctors in the afternoon came back, and I remember being admitted as a neurology patient because at this point right now they could not figure out exactly what diagnosis or what chronic illness I might have, or infection or bacteria or whatever. So they were like, okay, we're gonna put you in the neurology side, and because it's a spinal thing, right? I went there and my doctor started doing blood tests, MRI scans, CT scans, everything you can think of from the top to the bottom, child. Yo! I remember getting blood 4 times a day. And I used to ask my daughter, like, can't you guys like draw like a large amount of blood and then use those bits, like take there, because it's exhausting getting needles all the time. Let alone I'm on a drip. The drip is like here, and there's 4 drips. There's 2 here, there's 2 on this side. And I have to have 4 of them 3 times a day. And there's you coming taking blood. There's needles already on my body, and you're coming to pinch me again with needles. That's scary. Like, that's scary boots, you know? And my doctor was like, no, man, we're trying to get the best, like, results out of this situation because your case is very rare. And it's a complicated situation because what we think you have, you don't have symptoms of it, right? So we're gonna see what we can come about. And then later on in the week, they came up with a decision that they think they are 80% sure. And my daughter said to me, we usually don't work on 80% because we are professionals, but we are 80% sure that you have TB mellitus. So the reason why they went to 80% of TB mellitus is because they found fluid on my abdominal, and it's more like a lemon twist type of look. Like it's so lemony and it's gooey, and I don't know how to explain it, but it was almost yellow but light green type of look of a fluid on my abdominal. So they drained that, and they figured it was almost 750 grams. Yeah, I think not liters, guys, grams. 750 grams of that fluid, and they when they came out to the decision that they think it's TB myelitis is because of that. And I'll try and put a description here of what is TB myelitis, and that. So that was it, and I asked them like, what's the cause of TB myelitis? They could not figure out at this point. They told me, I'll put them here. I forgot about it because it happened a long time ago. They told me it's because of there's no immune system flowing probably within your spinal cord. So it's an infection it's an inflammatory that happens within the spinal cord. And for you, in most cases, what causes it? It could be you have diabetes, blood pressure, cancer, or any chronic illness. But in your case, you are negative for everything that we have tested. So it could, and the symptoms of it is pain, losing your mobility either on your left or right side, either top or bottom, and in your case you lost your sensation and your mobility within your legs. So we are going to place you on a TB myelitis, transverse myelitis treatment for a good year, right? So it's a TB of the spine, in other words. I was very scared. I don't know what to expect, how to go about it, and how I got it. It was so scary that even the professionals, the doctors, could not figure out what had happened, like what caused it, like what intensity, like what happened within my immune system that it just failed, and I had to attract this immune system, like this bacteria, like this disease or something. I don't want to call it. So I was on a treatment. So they said to me, I'm going to start my treatment on the 1st of September 2020. And by 2021 September, I'm going to be finishing. And then I'm going to do blood test. And I'm going to say that I'm clear. It usually takes about 9 months to clear out. But because it's a spinal illness, so they want to be very sure, right? So at this point right now, they put me on medication. And they told me that there's going to be side effects. I'm going to be having intense spasms. I'm going to be having nausea, sleepiness. I'm not going to eat a lot. I'm just going to have like those weird like symptoms, like after symptoms or whatever. Like I was very sleepy. I remember the first time I took those pills, there were 26 of them. And I was very scared, guys. I don't want to lie. Psychologically, that for me was daunting, because going from being so much happier and bubbly and all of those things, and like a social person, and going to fashion weeks and going to travelings and going around to parties and all of that, like and everything, to just your life come into static mode. I cried a lot. I don't want to lie. I cried a lot, and I remember saying to myself that if I had the power or the ways to commit suicide, I would have done it. I don't want to lie. Because at that point, I had no hope. There was no hope that I'm going to heal. There was no hope that I am going to be better. Secondly, I didn't know how to go about it. And the mere fact that the doctors were not sure how I got it was scary for me. So I feel like that was one of the darkest moments of my life. And I was in hospital for a good 2 months, and then I got discharged in October. I remember them saying to me, okay, there's this facility called Lentegria Cape Town Rehabilitation Center, Western Cape Rehab Center, where they take you for physio, and then you're going to try and educate yourself and be taught how to live with a disability. And I remember for me, when they said the word disability, my mind just went into shock. And I was like, me, disabled? What are you talking about? Like, clear that I like, what are you talking about? It was so unreal that they were saying all these things and kept on mentioning the word disabled. And I'm like, guys, I'm not disabled. And they're like, okay, cool. If you want to go home, we're going to take you home. Then I got discharged on the 2nd of October 2020. Yes. I got discharged and I came home. And then my family, they were like, okay, cool. The doctors don't know. They think you have this. It's fine. Let's go into a different path of your illness. So went into the different path of this illness. Went to traditional healers. I remember going to a guy. There's this dad, like a father figure, like a man, and he did like a scan, like those weird, like he made me sit like lay flat, and then he was like he's gonna try and see what's happening within my body, if there's no things that were put onto that and all of that. But I don't want to go into detail about it. It was a bit weird and scary. And then we went to another person. I was like, okay, cool, you guys took me to that. Let's go to another one for a second opinion. You know, I went to another woman. This woman was spot on. Firstly, she did not know who I am. She had no idea who I am. But the way she described me, it was to the T. I don't want to lie when I say to the T. And then she started saying things, and the things that she was talking about were making sense. And then she pulled me back. It's like she was taking the younger Uyele Kaya, which is my full name, the younger Anam, and then fusing it to the current me, and just like giving my life to me and say, so this is what had happened. This is how it started, and now this is where you are. Am I lying? And I was like, no, you're not. And I remember saying to her, what do I need to heal? And then she was like, you know what you need to do. It's not within my right to tell you what to do, but you know what to do. And then I went home and we started thinking about this thing at home, and I was like, guys, so what next? And then we, being a Christian, right, and growing up in a Christian environment, so many traditional things are not considered, and so many traditional things are seen as not as important as the Christian way, right? And for me, it was difficult because I could not question my family. At this point right now, I had no means of doing things on my own. I had to rely on them so much, right? So I remember saying to my family, guys, we heard it. What more do we want? They were like, no, we're still not happy with what the doctors are saying, with what the woman said. We still need the doctors to go into depth about it. And I went back, and then it was November, December, Jan. I remember in December, towards the end of December, before Christmas, I was like, guys, I want to go back to this woman. I want to go get help on my own. If you don't want to help me, it's fine. I'm out of it. And my family from my mom's side, they already left for Eastern Cape. So I had moved at this point to my dad's side of the family. And my cousins were leaving already for Eastern Cape as well on that side. So it was going to be me and my aunt and her boyfriend. So I was like, I'd rather go there because I feel like I don't want to be a burden. And secondly, I grew up not knowing my dad's side of the family so much. I grew up with my mom's side of the family, so the bond that I have with my dad's side of the family is a bit strange. They don't know me, I don't know them. We still need to know each other. So I was like, I don't want to stay here and be a burden because you guys don't know me and I know you, so I don't want to be awkward. I don't want to make it awkward. So I went to this family. Then Chibas. Wonderful family, incredible family. They welcomed me with so much love. I don't wanna lie, guys. With so much love that I felt like I was part of them. And at this point right now, I had no contact with my family because I don't know if they knew what was going on, but they were shying away from the truth, And I remember being at that house. It was so nice, and I kept on saying things and feeling and all of those things, And they took care of me. At this point right now, I could not do anything. They helped me to go to the bathroom. They were helping me to bath. They were helping me to do everything, making me food, making me everything. And they were so helpful. I felt safe. And then I had an episode in March of 2021 where I felt sick. I started getting hot and sweaty and I started losing hearing, and I thought I had COVID because at that time COVID was still around. Then they were like, okay, cool, we're gonna take you to hospital again. Then I was admitted again at hot scare around March. And when I was admitted around March, I tested for COVID, I became negative. And I figured out that throughout this whole time, right, I had defaulted from my medication. So I stopped taking my medication because I had this thought that this woman told me this. So clearly, I don't have this TB myelitis. So I stopped taking the medication. Then I defaulted. Then my body shut down. Then my immune system shut down. I remember going to the hospital, and then on that day that I admitted, my blood pressure was literally through the roof. And the doctors kept on asking me what had happened. I literally blamed out, told them the truth, that I stopped taking the medication because you guys were not sure if I have it. So I got tired of taking pills for something that hasn't been proven yet, right? And then like, okay, cool. We, at this point right now, you see now, you stop taking it, now you're sick, so that means your body is not rejecting the medication, so we think you have it. So I continued with the medication, and at this point right now, they reintroduced the idea of rehab. And I had remembered that, okay, if I live here, I don't have family to go to. Most of my family is Eastern Cape, and if I want to leave, I need to think about myself. I need to think about, where do I want to see myself in the future? Is me being in bed a future for me, or is me walking again a future for me? So I had those two decisions. I remember saying to my doctor, give me 2 days to think about it. Then I can come up with a good decision. And I called my friends. I remember calling Utobi, I called Uliolo, I called Asavel, I called Usnetemba, I called someone else. Oh, and I called Siskun from Life Choices. Life Choices, guys, those people, I would forever be indebted to them. My entire life. Talk about a facility, like a program that I was part of since high school and post high school, in varsity, in my high institution life, even outside of being in varsity and working, all of that. They were so helpful, mentally, physically, financially, in every possible way you can want help from. Sis Queen, I love that woman so much, and the team at Life Choices, they were behind me so much. They helped me throughout the journey, and when I contacted all of those people, they were like to me, we can say whatever we want to say to you, but you know where you want to see yourself. You are a creative. You are someone who is, like, you were born to be in front of a camera. You were born as a creative. You were born for the arts. So do you want to continue your journey in a wheelchair, or do you want to see yourself walking again? Those are the two questions you need to ask yourself in order for a decision to be made. I remember thinking about those questions so hard, and it was an eye-opener to have those 5 people in my corner. I remember saying to my doctor, okay, I'm ready to go to rehab. I was admitted at Western Cape Rehabilitation Center on the 14th of May 2021. And when I got there, I got introduced to the program that, okay, this is the site for people with disability. We're not saying you're disabled, but we are treating you here as someone with a disability. There is a possibility that you can leave this place walking. It's a 2-month program, and there are people that came here with stroke. Some of them were shot, some of them they had your situation, and they left here walking either with crutches or on their own. And at that point, I still was using a wheelchair. There was no movement. I could not stand on my own. There was a sensation, but I could not stand on my own. I was introduced to my physiotherapy. I was introduced to my occupational therapy, and then I was introduced to my psychologist. Yeah, and my social worker. And I remember going to training. I remember writing something down, saying to myself, we are gonna live here walking. And those words, I kept on saying to myself, repeatedly, like all the time, every time I go to the gym. And each person, like each patient or person was obligated for 45 minutes. So they were given 45 minutes to go for training each session. So 45 minutes for OT, 45 more for PT, 45 for any talk you want to have with your psychology about any problems you're facing mentally and all of that. And I felt like for me, I needed psychology more than anything, because I was having thoughts. I was like, any point, like I was looking for places to kill myself at that rehab, but there was no places. Like they could, like I tried, but I could not find any. So the process of starting physiotherapy began, and I would go to gym 3 times a day for 2 hours. I think that's why my recovery was so quick, and also it was so precious to me, because I remember the days that I would start training, I would have setbacks and I would be discouraged and be like, I'm training but nothing is happening. Like, why am I keep on training? Nothing is happening. Why am I not seeing results? Why am I not standing? Why am I not? I remember being frustrated to myself. I'm like, I'm training like 3 times a day and nothing is happening. I'm going extra mile and all of that. And I remember I came across a friend. This person I'm going to talk about, she's one of the people that I'm still in contact with. I love her so much. Toby, my good friend, sent me this post about this girl, Okuhle. Okuhle suffered the same thing that I suffered. She lost her weight. She could not walk. She was on a walker and now she's walking and stuff like that. So I remember DMing her on Instagram, and I said to her, "Hi, my name is Anam and I need to talk to you. I need to talk to someone who I can relate to. And I have this problem and it's bigger than me." And I remember I was helpless. Like I was hopeless at that time. I was helpless. I had no hope that I was going to recover. I remember speaking to her. I remember the days I would wake her up at 3 a.m. in the morning, a phone call at 3 a.m. in the morning. I was telling her about my dreams, like just going through the most. We would pray. When I talk about an incredible human being with a pure, big-hearted soul, I refer to her because she was in my corner. She helped me through everything. She guided me. We would read script together. She pulled me back. She gave me my life back. She gave me hope back, you know. And she was in my corner. And if ever I needed something, I would call her. If ever I needed, she was on my number. She was on my speed dial. I even stopped calling my family and I started calling her often because I'm like, I relate to this girl so much. She understands me. She understands my situation, and I really, really, really love her so much. And our friendship was born there. And I remember in June when I started standing on my own, I called her. I was crying and I said, "Do you know what happened? I stood on my own at the gym without anything." Like, she was so happy. Like, I remember crying, and I when that happened, it happened on a Friday. It took me that whole weekend to process that, dude, you stood on your own. Like, you stood on your own. Like, no help. Like, there was no help. You stood on your own. And I said to myself, shit, we getting somewhere. And I called her on a Monday. And I remember calling her. She was crying. I called Toby. I called Asabel. I called Brian. I called Usnatim. I called Sis Queen. And I called all my regular calls. My regular call people. And they were so happy. They were so excited. I even called your Asandi Swad, Abagonchiba, and Onele, and everybody. I sent them a video. And within June, I remember even starting to walk with a walker. I'm gonna try and put it here if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. And I even asked my trainer, like, do a video, like do a snippet. And while I'm walking, I'm not realizing that I'm crying because I'm like, shit, we're getting somewhere, dude. Like, shit is real. We're getting somewhere. And I sent them the video. Everybody was excited. Everybody was happy. And then I realized at that point, I had lost touch with my family. Let me ring them a call and be like, yo, dude, what's up? So I call my dad, my mom, and then I call my sister, and then I call my dad's side of the family, and I told them what's happening, and I sent them pictures and videos, and everyone was excited, but they could not come see me because visitors were still not allowed, even at rehab. And I remember asking my trainer, I know that I'm supposed to go in July, but I feel like there's so much that I still need to do, you know? And I feel like there's so much progress I'm still gonna have. And I remember telling her that, can I at least apply for another month? At least another month. Just 1 month. To show you guys that at least leave this place with crutches, you know? Because I feel like with crutches it's gonna be easier for me to navigate life after. And then she's like, okay, cool, sharp, we're gonna let you go in August. I had a setback. I had a abscess on my left thigh. I remember going for operation again in hospital. An abscess is a large cyst that is growing underneath the muscle, and it's caused by the strain of the muscle, right? So I did that operation. I was in bed for the whole of July, so I could not train. I could not do anything, and I was sad. It was a sad moment, but that still didn't like put me back or set me back to my goal. I remember calling Okuhle and saying, shit, this is happening. What should we do? She was like, listen, your journey is going on its way, like on its own. Don't disrupt it. Don't push things. If God or whatever or whoever or your ancestors want you to stay here for a while and they're pulling you back from something, accept it. Just accept it. Just wait for your time. And I remember saying to her, okay, cool. I went back to gym again in July. I healed perfectly fine. I trained. I remember one day, one specific Friday, no, it was a Wednesday, I started using crutches. I was like, shit! Yes. Thank you, God. Thank you, ancestors. Ngiyabulela bomzumbe omabhulo siqwebu ogqarha omamba nosiyo emahlahlane. Thank you, bantu basekhaya. I thank you so much. And I remember praying so much and praying so hard and saying, this is the day that I've been praying for. You know, this is the day that I've been praying for. And at the day that I've been praying for so much. And I remember getting my therapy into tears, and my physio. She was like, Anam, you're doing great. I'm so proud of you. Like, the perseverance, the consistency within you, the passion, the drive. And I told the reasons why. I was like, because I want to see myself back on TV. I want to see myself back in the camera. I want to see myself back in social media. I want to see myself back on radio and all of those things. I want my life back. And that's one of the reasons why I'm pushing so much to get to where I want, you know? And then I got discharged, and I remember I had no way to go to after discharge. So I was like, I called Asanis and I told her, hey, sweetie, I'm getting discharged again. And I went to a family and I stayed there. And at that point, everybody was happy, man. It was happy vibes. Everyone was excited. Like, everyone was like, and I'm from you. Like, sitting in one place a good whole day to now still gazing on. Like, now you, like now South like, now we're gonna hear about you. You're gonna be traveling, you're gonna be doing. I was like, I'm gonna be going anywhere I wanna go now, you know? And I remember I met a particular person during this process. And this person, I don't want to talk into depth about it, but he forced me to sort of like talk about what had happened to me, because at this point right now I was ready to go outside, but a lot of people had no idea what was going on with me. So, and this person was like, oh, you're keeping a secret, I'm gonna tell everybody. I was like, fuck off. So I ended up posting a post on Facebook about what happened. And I think that was a slight opener for me, because I went outside, I could go to the mall and stuff like that, and I would meet people. And people were like, oh, okay, I hope you're good. I love the fact that you recovered and stuff like that. But I was like, it's not enough, because you guys don't know what happened. And one of the reasons why it made me want to do this video was when I went quiet for a good month, not 2 months and more, people started speculating and selling and saying so many things. And that pissed me off because I was like, I'm not in control of saying things, like of responding and fighting back and all of that. Let me just rather keep quiet, In my own due time, I will talk about my experience and I will talk about what happened to me. Hence, now it's the time. So after discharge, I went to Eastern Cape after I was living with Asandis and her family. I went to Eastern Cape. It was nice vibes, man. It was nice vibes. And I came back now this year, 2022. And right now, I moved from a wheelchair to two crutches. Now I'm practicing to be on one crutch. And it's a nice process because within the house, I can walk without any crutches. Sometimes I use objects around the house, but I walk freely. But now it's a matter of fact of like walking to a mall or having to go to a shopping center, restaurant or something like that I have to use both of my crutches. And now I'm on a journey of just going back into social media, man. Like I'm gonna be posting a lot of pictures. So now I'm at a point in my life where mentally I am happy. I'm at my peace. I am happy. I'm excited about the new journey, the new chapter that I'm at. I'm gonna be posting a lot of pictures on my Instagram, going back on Instagram fully. I'm gonna try to go back on YouTube. After this video, there's so much content I'm planning to produce. They're vlogs or it would be a sit down, bringing people along on the channel to talk about anything, I'm trying to navigate my life into a different way because I'm not a person that I was before. I think also getting sick made me realize that I was kind of losing myself within the process of fame, the process of being in the limelight and being in the known, And I think now I've realized that I know who I am now, and I know the kind of people that I want in my corner, the kind of people that I want in my life. And I'm going back into fashion, of course, and there's going to be so much happening on social media, collaborations. I want to be back on TV so much. I feel like that's my number one goal, is to be back on a TV station, radio, voiceovers. I just want to enjoy. I want to be back into the Anam that I was before. Like, I feel like I'm destined to be for greatness, and the only person who is going to make that happen is only me, no one else. Like, I want to live my life to the fullest, and I feel like I've been given a second chance in life, and I've been given another opportunity to grow and to be a better person, a bigger person, and hopefully, man, I can inspire someone else. I want to show people that even if you're on crutches, you can still make it. Even if you're in a wheelchair, you can still make it. Even if you have a disability, you can still make it. I respect so much people that are living with disability and they are pushing through. I appreciate them more than anything in life because I went through the same thing and I was in their shoes, literally in their shoes, and I felt their psychological thoughts, their psychological trauma, physical pain, emotional pain, and the social distance you get from people, the isolation you get from people, the hereabouts, the rumors, the speculations, and everything, And I respect everybody, and I respect them so much, and I want people to be themselves, and I think that's why I'm taking my life back, And I feel like my life was taken away from me for a couple of years, 2.5 years, and now it's time to reclaim my life back. And I'm doing that, and I'm excited about the plans that I have, and now I'm gonna be different. I'm not gonna scream a lot of things. I'm just gonna show you guys, just give it to you. But man, I'm at my best, and I hope if you got the chance to get through this video till now, I want you to know that everything is going to be okay. Everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. If I went through what I went through and I pulled through and I came out of it and now I'm happy, even though that I'm not fully healed, but I'm getting there, like I'm pretty sure, dude, you can do it yourself. I know people's situations are not different, and every situation is not the same. However, I'm just saying, it's not the end of the world. You have the pen for your future. You have you are capable of writing the last chapter of your book. And I told myself that the last chapter of my book is not me on a wheelchair. It's not me being disabled at all. And I was not born disabled. If it's something that happened, that is happening, that it needs to enlighten me to somewhere else, it's fine. Let's go with it. So yeah, man, that's where I am right now. But I just wanted to come here, guys, and clear the air and just tell you that if you see me in a street, just treat me normally, you know. Treat me normally. I'm a normal human being. I'm going to that's it. That's it. But I've been traveling a lot now. I've been going out. I've been trying to go to clubs, but I've been going to the clubs that I've not known. But I miss Akailicha, you know. I miss Spine Road. I miss the vibes. You guys are probably gonna see me soon, but I just need to gather my strength, you know, and gather my thoughts about it. But yeah, man, thank you guys for watching. This is Kaya Anambombo, and you can follow me on all my social media platforms, especially on Instagram, which is anamkaya_. And if you're not subscribed, to make sure that you do subscribe. Yeah, man, thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I love everybody. And thank you to all the messages and everybody that's been sending messages. I love and appreciate it to see all of those messages. You guys are incredible. You guys are appreciated. I love you and thank you. And I'll see you on my next video.